What's the best magic trick that you've seen?
Mm. The best. I don't know if it's the best one. But I'll probably say the one with like they put the lady in the cage and the tiger comes out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I still be wondering, like, okay,
Yeah.
is she under the thing? Because even that they came out with a show, about like basically showing how they do the magic tricks,
Hmm.
but I've never seen them actually do that one, and I'm kind of curious. Like, is it really a
It's kind of
tiger?
like the rabbit in the hat. It seems like it's like a mirror trick.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I don't know. I think Lola, when it comes to mine, my favorite magic trick would be that one, the tiger one.
Okay. Okay.
Really?
That's a
What
pretty
about
good
you?
trick. I don't know if it's considered magic, but it's a trick that I've been a part of like for a while, where I give all my love and support to people, and then they
Really?
just disappear.
what?
So I mean, you
I
know,
thought you meant like like a for real magic trick. I'm
I
over
did
here
mean it.
like trying to think.
I did mean it for a magic trick. I love going to magic shows. Magic shows bring out the kid in me. I am
Really?
just amazed. Like trick me. Like this is a magic show. Like make me believe all the illusions. I don't want to
Mhm.
know the behind the scenes. Like if it looks good, it comes off well. No, I don't care that you hid the dove in your pants like holder or whatever. Like in your pocket or change it. Like I don't care. Like I want to
Really?
see when it's done to perfection. I love it, except when it happens in real life.
The-
But yeah, thank you all for tuning in to another episode of Take a Space podcast. I am your host Leah, joined by my co-host. Okay,
Kayla,
she's
what
losing breath
is wrong
here.
with you?
Joined by my co-host Kayla. It's been a little bit since we've recorded. Life
It
has been a
has.
little bit wild. Our schedules are finally aligned.
I know.
And we are able to bring to you an episode that I hope will inspire thought provoking questions.
We're-
So,
Why you talk like a therapist? Nope.
sometimes
Mm-mm.
in
Nope.
this life, we have to make sure.
Does your therapist really talk like that?
No, because I
I
would
was
fall
gonna
asleep.
say, I
I would
know.
absolutely fall asleep. I'm
I was
like,
like, are you
what are
reading
we
me a
doing?
story?
Why are we pausing so much?
Oh no. Emphasis on nobody talking, like straight pause. Just words and then pause. And I'm like, nah, no thanks, I'm good.
During the last live, we had a conversation with Catherine of House of Body,
Hmm.
and we were talking. And if you haven't listened to the episode, I encourage you to go check it out.
Yes.
One of the things that we talked about was being the one to stand up for ourselves, because there's not always going to be somebody else.
Hmm.
And a lot of times you can be the catalyst for the change that is necessary in the environment that you're in. So, for instance, if your manager is doing something or if trying to implement something that is going to negatively affect your workflow,
Yeah.
then it's important that you stand up and say, hey, listen, I know our output is supposed to be 130, but of whatever units, I don't know where y'all work, but our output is supposed to be 130. And by implementing this thing, our output is actually going to go down to 95. How can we better go about doing this new procedure without it hurting our numbers or our numbers not matching? Like there are certain times where you have to get clarification or ask questions or just speak up for yourself. No, I don't want to be touched like that. No, you
Hmm.
cannot hug me. No, I don't want to go to these places. No, I don't want to do this thing. Sometimes your bravery gives other people confidence to say, huh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I still find it very, very odd, and like just why, even from like the previous episode, that we even have to say out loud, don't touch me. I don't like to be touched. Like, don't come in my bubble. Don't come in my circle. I don't get that because I'm like, I would instantly step back. And then if I see you keep coming closer and closer, I'm like, "Oh, okay, hold on. I get you want to have a conversation with me. However, back up. You know what they used to say, back. Yeah, that would
Yeah,
be
yeah,
me.
back,
Yeah.
yeah, back.
Stiff arm, everything. I'm like, why do you have to be so close? We're right here. It's just you and I in a conversation. Nobody else. You and me. I see you, you see me. We see each other. We'll be good. But so what? I just don't like anybody in my personal spaces that I'm just like, okay, you too close. I did not invite you into my personal space. Don't cross that line.
But even seeing how there are people who are just, oh, he's just a hugger. She just likes, that physical contact to make sure that you know that you're listening to her, or whatever the case may be. And by you saying out loud, no, I don't want to be hugged. No, I don't want to be touched, or, please walk away from me, or
Mm-hmm.
removing yourself from the situation. Other people may see it and go, oh, you can do that? You can just say
Oh,
no? Like there was
yeah.
there was a situation. I was on the phone with a friend
Mm-hmm.
and I said, I said I was talking to this guy at one point and he had come in from work and I was like, first of all, take a shower. Okay. No, you need to bruh, it's been
Little
a long
funky.
day for
Yeah, no,
you.
yeah.
Oh my lord. What? Shower, please. And she was just like, you can wait,
Well, she was like so shocked that you even said anything.
you could just ask him to take a shower?
And then right,
Yeah.
really, I get like,
What? Yes.
because I feel like a lot of people they don't want to hurt anybody's feelings if they say
Listen,
something, but I'm like, okay, we all smell it. Here's my thing. I don't understand how someone who cannot smell themselves, but then will be the first person to be like, "What is that smell?" And it's like you just walked in the room. It's you. Like I don't get it.
it
I
wasn't
do
as
not get
humid
it.
in the other room. There
I
was a lot of
know.
wind blowing. I didn't have to smell myself. That's what that is. I didn't have to. I didn't. I mean, and mind you, I should tell people that he worked in a quarry, so he was out in the elements, and it was a long day.
Like you
But
could tell somebody's been outside playing in the grass. It's like it's that outside
oh,
smell.
why
Like
you
go
smell like
shower. Yeah,
outside?
like you can tell.
Oh, it is
Really.
weird because I work in the office, so I don't get. I don't really get funky, but I'm just like, oh, but by just telling her that, she was just like, I realized how low people have set the bar for other people and just kind of going with the flow, like, oh, I just assume this is how what I
Oh
have to
yeah.
accept
Uh-huh.
instead of realizing, no, honey bunches. What you what did you think this was? You
The
absolutely, anybody in your space, you absolutely have the ability to set up those boundaries, because at no point is there going to be another person that comes up and says, well, actually, I'll take that back. I told a partner of mine, a debate partner of mine, don't touch me. He made me, I was so frustrated during a debate tournament, and
mhm.
I became so irritated. And when I'm irritated, please leave me
Yeah,
alone.
give
So
me
I told him
space.
multiple times, and he's that, and he's smaller, like shorter than me,
Uh-huh.
and he's like a more petite guy, and but he would still be trying to like hug on me and all that kind of stuff, and I was like, okay,
Well, like rubbing your
please,
back and stuff.
yes,
Oh,
exactly. And
I
I'm
know.
just
I
like,
instantly got a picture of what that looks like.
oh, I was like, leave me alone. You need to leave me alone. And it took our peer coach coming over to him and
Mm.
saying, Obviously, she does not want to be touched, and like physically grabbing him to walk him in the other direction.
The heck?
And I was just, yes, and it was, and things don't get escalated like that often, but I
Mm,
vividly remember her having to come over because it was starting to become a scene. Because I'm just like, and it wasn't like a sexual assault or anything like that. It was
mm,
essentially him trying to be friendly when I'm
yeah.
frustrated, and I did not want him to, because he caused the frustration. I didn't want him to try to soothe me in any way. I just wanted him to walk away
Ah,
so
okay.
I can decompress. But she had to actually physically come, like she first verbally explained to him, leave her alone, then physically
Dang.
pulled him the other direction to be like, she said she does not want to be touched. Just walk away. Go somewhere. There's so many other teammates you can bother at this point. Just
But
leave her
why?
alone.
He knows he
I
made you
just
upset, but he was trying to fix the situation. It seems like that.
just walk. Well, no, I think he was so oblivious he didn't understand because he like the next day he asked me what made me so upset.
Did you tell him it was him?
Yeah.
Oh.
And he was like, really? What? How? When? Like he wasn't there. And I was just like, oh,
See.
jeez Louise.
Wow. I
But yeah.
can't see for I know thinking about it, I'm like it's like always having somebody to come to my rescue. Oh, even with my job. So what I used to kind of sort of do, like 80%, I always want customers to ask for a supervisor because I'm like, you know what? You ain't yelling at me. You yell at somebody else. Ask for a supervisor. So the way I always put it, I was like, well, there's nothing I can do, and so that way they can be like, oh, okay. So since she can't do nothing, give me on the phone who can. And it wasn't until I started realizing, like, you know, even though this is a job and it's easier to pass that on to somebody else, don't
Hmm.
do it because then it hurts my numbers. One, and then on top of it, I don't want to be taught that way at all. So I had this call. That's funny because I actually had it this morning, 4 o'clock in the morning. This guy was calling because there was somebody who was on his policy, and he said they were no longer together. They've been separated for the last 3 years. And going, of course, different states have different like regulations and everything. There was a form he's supposed to sign. We sent the form 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 10 months ago, 7 months ago, 5 months ago, and then again for this month. And I'm looking at the call history and the notes. Literally every single note is an escalation note. And then he was like, yeah, the last representative I spoke to hung up on me because I was speaking to her how I wanted to speak with her. I was cussing her out because she was not listening to me. And I'm just thinking to
The
myself, like,
entitlement.
yes. And he
Oh,
was he was like, what are y'all, some bunch of babies? I don't understand. And he starts saying, wah, wah. And I'm like,
you can keep paying this policy. I don't really care. This is your money.
I was just thinking to myself, like, are we serious right now? And I was like, am I being punked? Like, is he still talking? Like, I kept doing that with my headset and everything. And I'm thinking to myself, I was like, okay, this can go either one or two ways. I'm gonna end up hanging up too, telling him like, don't talk to me that way, or he's gonna get over to a supervisor. So instead, I did tell him, I was just like, we are trying to help you to the best of our ability. You're asking for something that cannot be handled over the phone. You have to send a form in, and I can make sure the form gets sent out to you. No, you're going to expedite the form, and then you are going to take her off my policy right now. And I said, sir, that's not how the way things work. There's our steps, there's our rules we have to abide by. And he was like, what is it with you women? And I'm like, ooh, ooh. And I kid you not, I was like, Kayla, you have a job. Kayla, think you have a job. You have a job. But at that point, I was like, okay, why do I have to continue to put up with this? So, after he said that, I stopped talking, and it got super quiet. And he was like, "Hello, hello, you hear me calling you? Hello, wow, wow. Do I have to talk like a baby now?" And I said, "Sir, you know what? There's nothing else that I can do for you. I already sent out the form to you. There's anything else I can help you with?" Well, did you take off the policy? No, I cannot take her off the policy. That's not how things work. And so then he was like, which honestly, surprisingly, I have gotten used to it by working in the call center. He called me the being hung up. And I was just like, let me notate your policy again. So every time he calls in, that we know. Of course, he called back like 5 minutes later. Surprisingly, I'm so glad he did not get me again. And he escalated immediately to a supervisor, and he cussed her out too. And I'm just like, what is wrong with you? Like, what is wrong with you? So I went ahead and reached out to that supervisor because I'm just like, I'm proud of myself, the fact that I stayed on the phone for that long with him, but at the same time that I did not get him over to the supervisor how I used to. Because
Mm-hmm.
I'm always quick to be like in the beginning, I will always get like the shaky hands, the nervousness, like the feeling in my stomach. Okay, somebody's talking to me like this, super crazy, but I have to stay professional and do my job. So I'd be like, okay, I'm doing as much as I can, the shivering in my voice and everything. And now I'm just like, okay, you want to talk all this? Pull the plug. Pull the plug. I mean, I don't know what you want me to do, and
But
because I'm just like, people need to understand. You're calling me for something, obviously.
right,
You owe a bill, or
right.
you have something that you got to take care of on your policy. You're calling me for a reason. I'm not calling you. I don't call out to people. But for you to have just a nasty attitude and expect me to still do
Mm-mm.
what you want me to do, oh no, best believe it, I'm gonna take my sweet time. I'm gonna put you on hold for at least 15 minutes. Like, I'm that type of petty. Because I just can't. I can't do this. We gotta insert that video there, because oh man, that's but yeah, that was one of my calls today, and I'm just like, that guy, ugh, irks my nerves when people do that.
I, it frustrates
Ah,
me when people don't realize they're talking to other people,
yeah.
regardless of your title or your lot in life. You're
Mhm.
calling for a service. You're calling for a reason.
Talking about
You're
your
not
stuff.
gonna. You are not gonna talk over me. Either
Mhm.
you want me to answer the questions, or you want to hear yourself talk for the next 5 minutes. What do you want to do?
You know, even though I know it's a show, I really, 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 even if I had an ounce, I know I definitely have confidence, but if I had an ounce of Dina's confidence from Superstore, oh my gosh, I really feel
Dina
like
is hilarious.
that would be like perfect, because I feel like I'm a Glenn with the hint of Jonah, and I'm starting to break off like layers of Glenn.
I wouldn't say Glenn and Jonah. I feel like
What?
you're like Glenn and
Who?
not Karen. What's the girl's name?
Amy or Cheyenne?
No, the Asian one.
Sandra?
Shut up, Sandra.
No,
Yes, you're that one.
no.
You're Sandra and Glenn.
Anybody but her. Anybody but her. Ah, nah.
He's the only kind of you don't because you don't enact like Jonah will go out of his way to try to get revenge. So will Dina, and but Glenn and Sandra, like the only time Sandra kind of got revenge was when he was suspended in the air. She was like, "I'm gonna walk away now.
Yeah.
Like I can just not help you."
Slowly walk
Yeah,
away. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
That's you're
Okay.
you're you're Sandra,
I
Sandra and Glenn.
guess. I guess I
Yeah,
can say Sandra. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah. Because you
Yeah.
because you don't really Jonah talks a
A
lot
lot. Yeah.
and you
I don't
don't
know.
and you don't talk a lot.
I don't know. I would say more so of his actions. Like, okay, in a
But he's always trying to prove
sense,
himself in some sense, and I don't think that's really
no.
serious. Just like kind of like, well, no, I was having that, but no, I'm fine.
Yeah, like my cup was in the sink, but you poured all that in there. But okay, that's fine. Yeah,
Hi, Jeff. Oh, okay. Yeah,
yeah.
so-
Ah, Deborah, I guess. Oh, I really don't want to be Sandra, because I'm like, they
That's
put
who
her through
you
a
are.
lot. Like, they put
That's
her
who
through a
you
lot.
are.
Really,
That's
it is
that's
not.
literally who you are. And so I feel like eventually you just have to learn that, and I think this is where the tides kind of turn is when you realize that yes, the person that you're helping or dealing with or you're in a relationship with or whatever
Hmm.
needs support.
Yeah.
You're also deserving and worthy of the same. So you're not
Yeah.
there to be depleted of all your resources and everything for the sake of someone else or something else
Mm-hmm.
without being replenished yourself. So at some point you got to say, "Hey, that's why don't let this job stress me out. Look, we can disconnect at any given time.
I know.
If you don't want an account, that is perfectly fine.
Uh-huh.
You can continue to but the great thing that I appreciate is that um I've never my manager and I've had calls where I'm standing next to my manager. Okay, man, well, you've been yelling for 5 or 6 minutes and I've let you get that steam off so we can get to the root of the matter. But
Mm-hmm.
if you continue to curse, I'm going to hang up. My manager will be next to me. Hang up the phone. Hang up the
See,
phone. And I'm just
I,
like, all right.
all right, we
like
have to like.
my manager knows me and he knows that I'm like, yes, I am helpful. I will
Mm-hmm.
go above and beyond, especially when a client is really trying to work with us. But I will not be degraded. I will not be demeaned. I will not allow someone to talk to me as if I were a dog and they can tell me how to fix it or to
Mm-hmm.
fix it. I'm like, because sometimes I'll be like, oh, are you, well, you need to go ahead and do that. Do you work here?
And the right. Yeah,
Oh, okay. So you're not aware of what okay. I just wanted to be sure. I wasn't sure if I was talking to an employee or not. Okay.
because they always hit you with the well, you guys did it last time. I don't know why you can't do it again.
Okay.
Uh, two different time frames, but okay. Like people get some act right. That's all I'm saying.
I don't think people understand how often policies and procedures change, especially when it comes to insurance, finance, like real estate. There's so many different industries where, okay, yes, you were able to get a deal for an auto loan in 2016. You could not come
Mm-hmm.
back in 2021 and get the same deal.
Right. Like, I can't with both. I had
You
to.
did it for me
Woo.
last time. No, you were in a dream last time. That's what it
Mm-hmm.
was. You got arrested last time. I want you to I want you to pull it together.
I had another one. Sorry, no, sorry, Bart. This guy called. What was it? Friday, and he's on the phone, and I'm just like, these people are just so crazy. It is March. How you let your policy expire back in May of 2019, and you're driving around with your car still? And all you hear is the officer is just like, "Yeah, I just need to confirm if this policy is good." And I said, "No, this policy expired May of 2019." And all you hear is back, "No, you're not. You lying. I just paid it. You lied. I just paid it." And I'm just like, I pulled up all of your information. Only one policy is popping up, and the policy was started in May of 2019, but he only made the down payment and no payments after that. I'm just like, oh, you guys.
This is I would honestly be on the phone like, I'm sorry, officer. Is he sure? Is because this is this company. Is he calling this company or is he supposed to be calling another one?
Yeah,
Because
that yeah.
there's a lot of insurance companies. Like maybe he meant the general.
The
Did he mean the general?
guy.
I know we get our commercials mixed up.
Uh-uh.
Um, maybe he meant zebra. There's also elephant. There's a lot of
Okay,
different
well,
insurance companies out there. Maybe he meant somebody
nope.
else.
He meant us. He meant us, and I'm just like, whoo, this job has definitely taught me a lot. I can definitely say that, but also it's still teaching me what I will put up with and what I won't put up with.
Boundaries.
Yeah, because I'm just like, I refuse to sit there and be, is it degraded? Like when somebody's talking it down on you
Well,
consistently.
there's you could be degraded, you could be demeaned, you could be uh condescended to, patronized. There's a lot of different words that mean
Okay,
that.
well, yeah, all that.
Okay.
And I ain't putting up with it. Like, yeah, just all that. Sum that all up. If there was one word to sum that all up with, just know I'm no longer. Nope. I don't care how much I need or want. Ooh, I'm gonna say I want this job.
I
me not
mean,
lie.
it pays the bills. It pays the
Yeah,
bills.
let me not lie. Well, I don't want to use the term want, but you know where I'm going with that. But yeah,
Yes, it's a
yeah,
necessary. It's a
it's a
necessary.
necessity. Yeah, yeah.
It's a
So
means to an end.
I almost lost myself there when I said what.
Eventually,
But
you won't need this job. You'll have more assets than liabilities.
I know.
Yes, that's what we're working toward.
Keep hope alive. Well, people say keep hope alive, like forever. Keep hope alive, or
Well,
until
I
you
would.
get that thing that you want.
Well, my thought is that you should keep working toward, because even though you're working to get a thing,
Mm-hmm.
I would hope that wouldn't be your end all be all, and you can see what's after. But like in the movie Soul, he hoped and
Uh huh.
worked toward being on stage, and he was finally on stage, and he's like, okay, so what now? So
Yeah.
I think that I try to have multiple goals so that when I reach one, okay, I can replace that with another goal that's a little bit further off.
Yeah.
Something to keep the nugget in front of me to keep going, so that the golden nugget is not just one thing, but it's multiple things. But keeping hope alive, it reminds me of the um, civil rights struggle, because there's so much incremental change that has to happen, like between um, the death of Chairman Fred Hampton in that movie, still can't believe he was only 21, but till now there's still so much police brutality and racism and lack of protection within our own neighborhoods,
Mm-hmm.
um, from the police, that the change that has happened has been very incremental. We have seen some laws go into effect, but with laws going into effect, it doesn't really change the hearts and minds of people who've been taught the same thing that they learned back in the 70s, back in the 1900s, back in the 1800s, etc. So,
Mm-hmm.
keeping hope alive is just striving for that day when we can reach some semblance of actual freedom and stability.
Hopefully, keep hope
Yeah,
alive.
that's why you got
Yeah.
to partner yourself with other people and see that, oh man, this is possible. Oh,
Yeah.
we can really make some changes. So
We
yeah,
can, instead of like put it to action, instead of always just talking about it. What could have been or what could be.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's exactly what it is.
Did your light just go out?
No, we didn't.
What is wrong with you?
Nothing happened. But
I
yes,
cannot.
so know your boundaries, own your boundaries, reinforce your boundaries, because there's not always going to be somebody that is going to come to your rescue or be Captain Save 'em, and also you could be the catalyst for change potentially.
I thought you was about to say something else after you said Captain Save him. Save I was like, oh, we're going there with that.
I mean, I wouldn't call myself that, but that's why I say Captain Save 'em.
Yeah, because I was like, she's not about to say the
There's
same
always
thing.
people trying to be social justice warriors and trying to save somebody,
Yeah.
or always caping for this person or that person. I don't really need somebody with a cape and privilege to think that they need to save me. Like, I'm good.
Not all
I'm
heroes wear capes.
Listen, you can be a hero in your child's eyes. It's gonna be
Yeah.
sad when they get older and realize, oh, mommy doesn't know as much. Listen,
Look now, I did my best. Okay.
that's all you can do. That's all
Yeah.
you can do. Y'all don't be out here mom shaming. Look,
So judgmental. Look, I did my best.
people are just children who grew up. That's it.
Hmm.
They're just children who grew up. So
Really.
everybody's supposed to act like they know what's going on. People don't know what's
Half
going
the time,
on.
nobody do. They don't even know what they're doing.
What are we supposed to do? This. You sure? Say it with confidence
Yeah.
this time.
Oh, don't
This.
forget this. Yeah.
Yes. We're supposed
Say
to
it with
follow him.
your chest.
Yes.
Really.
He sounds confident. I want to go into battle with him. This business
Really.
seems sure. I haven't received a paycheck in 6 months, but it seems like a good idea. Yeah.
Funny. Because what did he say? All Martha kids when he was like, "What do we do? Leave? Why? Because we don't follow. Because nobody knows where they're going, or something like that." I was like, "Yeah, that's that, if we think about it, that's true. Nobody knows where they're going."
Yeah, I mean, it's good to see people who have been where, and that's kind of where it is when you see people who are willing to break out of the box and do something like Marseille Martin starting her
Mm-hmm.
starting her production, and one of the rules that she came out with is like no black pain projects, and I was like, yes,
No who?
black pain projects. I am so tired of seeing the rags to riches story, the
Oh, black
story.
paint. I think you said paint. I was like, paint. What happened to my paint?
I would enunciate paint,
Oh,
but yes,
yeah. Oh, yeah.
black pain stories, and I was so excited to hear that because
Yeah.
can
What?
we can we like fight some dragons? Can we go on adventures? Can we have a coming of age story? Does somebody always have to overcome like some terrible traumatic experience where golly, like no, like Photograph was a good movie. I don't like chick flicks like that. It was a good chick flick,
Mm-hmm.
but there was like no trauma. I mean, it didn't come off as a traumatic thing. She had Issa Rae and Lakeith Stanfield had come across each other, and she was learning to love because her mother was a more distant woman, didn't really have a steady relationship with the man, and so she's like trying to navigate these waters as an adult and what that looks like. But it was just like a romantic movie of them learning each other, realizing they like each other, and her choosing to want to be with him. And so it's like that will they won't they kind of thing. And
Mm-hmm.
so it was a huge change from what we had been seeing, and it's like, oh, that's why I don't watch Power. I don't watch
Oh, yeah. I never seen it before.
I saw the first 4 episodes of Power, and I was like, this is the same
Yeah.
story.
I only
I'm
watched
tired
a
of
clip
the
of it.
black people only make money because of drugs. They only make
Uh,
money, they're drug lords trying to go straight.
illegally. Yeah, the illegal
Yeah.
way. Yeah.
Or they're pimps trying to go straight, or they're whatever and whatever things trying to go straight. And I'm like,
There's more to life than that.
no,
Not everybody's the same. Not everybody has the
everybody
same
don't need to be
background.
a gangster.
Yeah.
Like, just stop.
Really?
Oh, it's frustrating. It really is. It's frustrating. So yes, I just appreciate when
We should put that
people
out there.
recognize that we don't need a black pain movie. Like, it's okay if you want to do one once in a decade, but I'm trying to think of like movies of other cultures that is just like constantly bombarded with like, oh, the
Yeah.
pain of the movie. Like, this character was downtrodden, and this is the story of every person in this
Why do
ethnic
you have
group.
to change your voice?
Because it's a stupid thing. I think it's a stupid. Stop trying to reinforce that I have to get it out the mud. No, why are we in the mud? Go in the house, take a
Yeah.
shower. Okay,
What?
stop.
I
Like,
cannot
why?
listen.
I don't.
No, I can't.
I'm sorry.
I
That was
can't.
my passionate rant of the day. But thank you
Okay.
all for tuning in to another episode of Take Six Podcast. I've been your host, Leah, with my co-host.
Kayla.
There she
Why?
is.
Fine then, Kayla. Just be boring. That's fine. That's okay.
Okay, Sandra. All right, so I absolutely appreciate y'all. This is like 41 episodes in the books.
I know.
I'm super excited. Please join us for the live on Thursday at 8 p.m. Central Time on YouTube and Facebook. Eventually, we're going to attempt to do Twitter via Periscope, but right now it's YouTube and Facebook, and then we'll figure out some stuff later. But yeah, let us know in the comments how you make sure that you're that catalyst, or how you stand your
Stand your
ground,
ground.
uphold your boundaries,
Mm-mm.
tell people no, back up off me, all that kind of stuff.
Sucker punch.
I hope you're not sucker punching people in the face.
What? Who said
No,
that?
No, but
Look at that.
absolutely. I absolutely hope that each and every person learns how to take up their space and maintain their boundaries, regardless of who they're speaking to. Because regardless of if you're at work, at church, at home, you deserve to be respected just like the next person. So, with that, all love and support. Do
Bam,
we?
bam, bam, bam.
I don't know
I
why
had to
he does
mess
it
that.
so well. I don't know why he does it so well. It's weird,
That's a
but
great way to, yeah. That's how you know you're here. Your presence is known.
okay. There's other ways, but yes. All right, y'all. Have a good one.
Bye.